Oh yeah, a case I've never seen before. It's the Peak Gnar case. I really wanted to like this product, but I'm not sure I can. I'm testing 50 cases to find the best 5. This is review number 28 out of 50. Because I'm a reviewer, not an influencer, for the iPhone 17s, my scoring system is based on what the iPhone actually feels when it hits the ground on its corner, on its face, as well as on its camera lump. Each case gets dropped 30 times. So when I say it's terrible, it's because I've got the data to back it up. Now this is a very unique looking case. Right off the bat is this big orange piece. This thing's not completely smooth, it's got a nice soft rubber finish to it. What's different about this case is that the top and bottom of the case are way thicker than the sides of the case. The edge has a diamond pattern hatching on it. On the inside of the case, your iPhone sits on a bit of microfiber, and the inside edge of the case has a bunch of like ridges on it. I'm sure they're there for protective reasons, but yeah. Now the most noticeable thing is going to be this square here. This is where you mount Peak accessories. And the mount area is actually better looking than other products on the market, like this one from Rockform, which is just like, oh, massive, and this was just clean and good looking. The mounting system hasn't changed over the last few years. I bought this bike mount, I think for the iPhone 12s, and they are a little looser, but much easier to deal with when compared to stuff from like Rockform. When I say looser, I don't think the iPhone's going to come falling off. It's just, yeah. Last thing I'll mention is that there's really only a thin piece of material between the back of the mounting system and the iPhone. Shouldn't be an issue, but I figure I mention it. Weight-wise, it's going to increase it on your iPhone by 61 grams. And for bulk, it's only make it larger by about 62%. 62% is pretty average, but this thing feels way thinner than it actually is. This case edge is actually tapered in slightly, so when you hold your device, you don't actually get the full feeling of the bulk of the product. Now when it comes to using your iPhone in this case, grip-wise, it is surprisingly mid, even with the textured back and the diamond hatching on the edges. I do wish the edges had a bit more of a tacky finish. The buttons on this case are flow-through, so they got a nice click to it, and the actual design is pretty unique because Peak has a peak in the border buttons, and so instead of being rounded or kind of flat, there's a peak. I wonder if they did that on purpose. Now when it comes to screen access, it's almost too much. Too much screen access, you say? It's because an iPhone with a screen protector actually extends past the edge of the case. So when I'm doing this, that's mostly screen protector on this table. I'm not sure I like that. So evidently this case is meant to be used without a screen protector, which I don't agree with, because if you get a really good screen protector, it actually improves the quality of your iPhone screen while increasing its protection. This case does have a port cover, and the cutout is big enough for me to use oversized cables. And because there is a port cover, if you're a pinky proper upper, it's very, very comfortable. When it comes to MagSafe, to pull things off, it takes 15.1 newtons. To push things off, took 11.7. Usually it's the other way around. Usually the higher value is on push. Again, Peak does something different. Overall, it is 69% higher than average. Let's talk about these weird corners. The corners at the top here are 4.5 mils thick. That is substantial, but the back is only 2.6 mils thick, so this is pretty average. Now when it comes to rigidity, this thing at the top, the camera lump is pretty stiff, but this section here still has a lot of bend to it. So it only takes 22 newtons to bend it 8 mils. That's 23% below average. Do you think this is going to be an issue for face-first drops? Now when it comes to corner drops, this thing recorded 9.3 Gs on my iPhone, which is 11% below average. Pretty good. The rotation rate after the initial impact was very average. The rate at which the iPhone settled was better than average. And oddly enough, the total force was very average. So what I gather from all this data is that this is the poster child for drop protection for an iPhone. Now, what do you think is going to happen for a case where the edge doesn't extend past the screen protector? If you guessed that it fails, you would be correct. Now, even if the case edge was slightly past the screen protector, there's a couple things that worry me. The first is the rigidity is going to be an issue because it bends quite easily at this point. And the force required to pop a corner off the iPhone was about 15 newtons, which is way below the average of 25. So even if you're not dropping it face first like that, you're doing a corner drop like so, there's a chance that your iPhone is gonna pop out of the corner. Like it comes off so easily. But look, even after that, like it doesn't fully go back to cover the top of the iPhone after you push it off a little bit. Like that's just troublesome. Now when it comes to the camera lump, I think Peak uses mostly just polycarbonate around the edges. It's really hard to tell because I'm not quite sure what the exact material of the product is. But again, the top of this case is actually very rigid. There's not a lot of give here. So when you do this to your iPhone, you notice that the initial impact was 27% better than average. Overall force was 24% below average, and the settling rate was actually 38% longer than average. So with this case, because the top part has just basically a big lump of pretty pliable TPU, when that happens, it takes the initial hit very, very well. The settling rate to the case rings a lot longer because of this setup. Still really trying to nail down what causes cases to ring this much. I've got a bunch more cases to test, so yeah, hopefully I'll come up with an answer for that. So would I get this case? The answer is no, but if I've invested a ton of money on a Peak accessories, then this case is good enough, we'll say. The phase first drop issues, I'm not going to penalize it too heavily because Peak designed it to be like this. Because apparently nobody ever drops their iPhone like this. I don't know. But yeah, out of all the cases I've tested so far, there's probably no reason I would go with this. That's all I got. If you want to see what else I'm going to review, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that every single time I release a new video, number 29, I think is going to be, oh, I don't know what it's going to be. It's a good one though.